Hi guys, so this is our March wrap up. Sorry it's a little bit dark. We've broken the light in the sitting room, so we're doing it by lamplight. So it's a bit dark. So yeah, this is all the books we read in March. We had quite a good week, month even. Reading month in March. We
both went over our... Milo, stop it. We both went over our planned to be read. So we're both over the moon with that.
2 seconds. Milo, come on. Milo up. Good boy.
Yeah, so we're both over the moon with that. And yeah, we're just going to get on with it and show you what we read. And very second long kind of reviews of them. So yeah, if any of these you want to see a full review of, you will get one if you ask.
Nicely. Say please.
Cheers guys. You want to start first?
Yeah. So I took the dust jacket off this to keep it safe. And it's gone. So this is When She Woke by Hilary Jordan. It took me 2 nights to read this book. I absolutely loved it. It's quite sensitive subject matter, so if you're easily offended, I wouldn't read it. It's about abortion. Religion has kind of taken the government, so what religion says goes. So obviously abortions are now murder, and there's a young woman who has aborted a child and has been chromed red, so her skin is red because she's a murderer. People are chromed different colours depending on their crime, and it's about her interactions with the world and kind of coming to peace with herself. But it's an amazing book. I absolutely loved it, and I will take pictures of it when I find its dust jacket. And this is one I got Chris and Victoria from Christoria 2027. Got for. Thank you.
Yeah, so Ellie absolutely devoured that book. I think it took her a night of it in the morning. I literally think you stayed up really late reading it and you woke up really early to finish it.
Yeah, I loved it.
So,
and I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads.
Yeah, so the first thing I finished this month was Fistful of Feet by Jordan Krall. This is a bizarro, wild, weird western. I can't really go into it because I can't remember most of the details because it's bizarro and there's so much going on. All I remember is it was very, very good. The other Jordan Krall book I'd read recently was Piecemeal June. I actually contacted the author, as I've got him as a friend on Facebook, and told him what I thought of these 2 books, and his response was he hates Piecemeal June. He thinks it's a piece of shit. Those are literally his words. And that Fistful of Feet he's a lot prouder of, and I can definitely see... I enjoyed Piecemeal June, but this is a much better, complete piece of work, and if you want a good place to start with Bizarro, I would definitely check Fistful of Feet out.
Pretty Monsters by Kelly Link is kind of a hangover from last month, from February. I love and hate this book all at the same time. There's 9 short stories in it, 4 of which I absolutely adore, and 5 of which are awful.
In your opinion?
In my opinion. I went on Goodreads because I was really, really struggling and I couldn't work out why. And there's quite a lot of reviews in a similar sort of vein, that some of them are really, really good and really, really awesome, and some of them I just don't get. I feel like I've missed something. I said that last time. I just feel like I've missed the point.
It's definitely a book I'm going to have to read soon. I'm not reading it this month, but soon, so that I can talk to you about it.
However, I want to pick up some more Kelly Link books, because if any of her full-length books, full-length stories, are as good as some of the short stories in here, I really want to read them. My favourite in here is The Fairy Handbag. It's amazing. I ranted to you about that for ages. And The Wizards of Perfil. There are some amazing stories in here. It's just...
The ones you told me about sound really good.
Some of them I just don't get.
But I think what we'll do with this one is we'll probably do a joint review once I've got round to reading it, and we can both talk through if we got different things from different stories. But the problem you're going to have now is 50-50 on if her standalone novels are going to be the stories you like or the stories you don't.
They might be something I pick up on e-reader first before I buy them.
Yeah. All right, next for me is...
And I gave that 3 stars on Goodreads.
Next for me is Pat Kelleher's Black Hand Gang from the No Man's World series. Absolutely loved this book. I did a review of it on the channel, and yeah, I devoured this book. It's another one we got from Christoria 2027. Thank you guys. I really love this. He's just released an omnibus which has 3 books in the series, which I'll probably end up picking up at some point. But I really enjoy this. It's really pulpy. It's kind of like an army adventure boys kind of story mixed with a sci-fi alien thing. And it's got a bit of mystery in it, which I love. When things happen and you don't really know why. Like, the main premise of this is something like 1,000 metres across circle of the Somme disappears and appears on this alien world. And the 900-odd soldiers and people that were there on that 1,000 square footing have to deal with it. And I just really liked it. And the weird thing was, as much as I loved the aliens in it and the stuff that goes on the alien world and descriptions, I found the camaraderie between the troops the best thing in this book.
The third thing I had to be read in March was Adele Blanc-Sec by Jacques Tardy. I love Adele Blanc-Sec. I watched the film first, so I was going to love this no matter what, although I'm really, really excited that this is one in a series.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
This seems to be most of what was in the first film with the pterodactyl. So I want to pick up some more. I can't even remember where we got this from.
Amazon. Yeah, after watching the movie, and then I found out it came from a comic. And
the illustrations, I think, are really different to the ones you usually get. They're
like Tintin.
They're very, I want to say French inspired because it's French, but they're just not as, I don't know, they're kind of more...
Over-styled.
Yeah, over-styled. There's lots of moustaches and not a lot of features on the faces, but you can clearly see they've got eyes and moustaches and bowler hats. And
yeah, so it's kind of American Western
artistic
thing.
Like, whereas graphic novels are a lot of the time in the detail, this just kind of uses shadow and light. Some of the faces don't have detail. Where there's crowds of people, some people don't have any detail at all.
Yeah, there's bits on it that look very Mike Mignola-esque.
And
yeah.
it's wordy in places, but not all the way through. But yeah, so I'm definitely going to pick up the rest of these.
Okay, next for me this month was Shark Hunting in Paradise Garden. This is a Cameron Pearce, another Bizarro book. If you remember last month I read The House Goblins of Auschwitz, and I absolutely hated it. And this was the only other book by Cameron Pearce I owned, so I thought I'd take another chance on this, and hopefully Auschwitz was just a bad book that didn't gel with me. And I really enjoyed this. This means that I will probably check out more Cameron Pearce books. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Brilliant characters, brilliant world, brilliant story. There are some deep things you could probably search for in this book, but you don't need to. You can just enjoy it for being a fucked up weird story. So that's Shark Hunting in Paradise City, or Garden.
As an extra to because I actually completed all I said I'd read this month, which I was really, really excited about. I've read another graphic novel and started another book. So the graphic novel we both read.
Yeah, we've both read this one this month.
This month is Rat Queens.
This is one we've wanted to read ever since we saw it recommended by Chris and Victoria.
Yes, Victoria, when we went to see Victoria, she told me how much she loved it. The only kind of gutting thing is that they keep pushing back the release date for the second one.
Yeah.
I just assumed, because the graphic novel world is so wide, I just assumed this was one of many that had already been released.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah, we're used to getting into comics like 20 years in their life, so there's like 11 volumes that you want to pick up.
Like Hellboy, we buy the library editions.
Hellboy,
so, yeah,
exactly.
But it's amazing. The story's really good. The characters are amazing.
It's brilliant.
There's like some Lovecraftian Cthulhu things mixed in, and it's just a really, really, really cool story.
The first volume's called Sass and Sorcery, and that pretty much tells you what you need to know. It's about 4 typical kind of RPG character women, and they're part of a team of mercenaries in this town that are meant to be employed to keep certain things away. There's a group called the Four Daves, there's like a goth group, and they end up being more trouble to the town than the things they're meant to be destroying.
Get drunk and
and yeah,
it's really...
It's a lot of fun, and we really enjoyed it, both of us.
It's really, really pretty. Like I said, the characters are awesome. They've all got their own little worlds, and you only get little fragments of each of their world, but they're all really cool, and we both really, really enjoyed Rat Queens.
Well, so that's you for this month, isn't it? Wrap-ups?
No, I'll talk about it more in my to be read for April, but I started the Glass Houses from the Morganville Vampire series. I quite like young adult vampire books, so I picked it up. It was on 3 for a £5.
That was a recommendation from Victoria, wasn't it?
And I thought I'd give it a go because it was cheap, and I've got through it quite quickly. I'm actually doing really well. So, yes, that's going to be my TBR for April.
Right, and then it's just me left. This month I devoured a Goosebumps book. Thought I'd start with the first one, Welcome to Dead House. Didn't remember this story at all. I don't know if it was one that stuck with me when I was a kid, but I thought, why not give it a go? They're easy reads, and it was really fun. It was basically about a family that moved into a town and realised the whole town's dead, and they need fresh people to kind of sacrifice to keep them alive. But a really good book.
And you're really lucky. We've managed to pick up, I'd say, about 80% of the old style Goosebumps books and all of the new ones.
Yeah, so if they're easy pickups for me to read, if I've read a long book and I want some. Excuse me,
you picked them up in
easy.
the original covers and everything, so it's really cool.
Yeah, they're the covers from my childhood, so I love them. Next we have Guy Adams' The World House. This is a book that I will be doing a review of, mainly because I have a love-hate relationship with it. It tells the story of a little wooden box that when the person who has it in their possession is faced with mortal fear, just before they die, they get transported, I think, inside the box. I don't think that's ever explicitly explained, but inside the box, and there's a house, and this house is outside time and space and physical parameters. It has all these weird things in it. Now, the house itself is a fucking brilliant character. I really loved the house, but you didn't. The way the characters are written, by the time you get in the house and the story's centred in the house, there's about 15 characters that you're following, and the way it's written is there aren't time signatures or character signature changes. It's just one paragraph's one character and the next is the next. And when a lot of them are kind of the same, it's very easy to get muddled up. And I found the first 150 pages very confusing. There is a bit towards the end that fixes some of that, but it didn't fix enough for me to go, I loved this book completely. I enjoyed it, and I think I would definitely pick up the sequel when it comes out. It was my first Angry Robot book, but look out for my review of this because I'll go into a lot more detail. And finally, this month, the graphic novel that I read was Lock and Key, Keys to the Kingdom, Volume 4. This is a series we absolutely love. I had read like half of this, but I didn't remember it, so it was good to go through. This is a series that we're both huge fans of. Big fans of Joe Hill, and you can't go wrong with Gabriel Rodriguez. I mean, I can open any page in here, and the artwork is immense.
I even like the way the style of font changes with the emotion of how it's being said.
Yeah, and something that if you're not like seasoned comic readers, like we're not, things like not using squares for the things and using massive big double page things to get across emotions. I just saw one and I'm going to try and show you it because it is awesome. Yeah, like that. And yeah, and I love everything about these books. So yeah, that was my final thing that I read. So that is our March wrap up. It was a bit confusing for us to find out which ones we'd actually read for the last month.
We both did really well this month.
Yeah, we both did really well for last month, and I think we're finally getting into the swing of reading regularly now. So yeah, cheers for watching, guys. Sorry this was such a long video, but having not put a video up for, what, 2 weeks or so, 2 or 3 weeks, we thought you deserved a nice long one. So see us in our next video, which should probably be our to be read for April. Cheers for watching, guys.
Bye.
Bye.